I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Start Our Story podcast, where today could be the start to your story. Today's guest is someone that back in 2018 used to weigh 509 pounds. Flash forward to today, he is down to 243. I'll do the math for you guys. That's 266 pounds lost. Absolutely insane. This didn't happen overnight. This is many, many years of hard work and dedication. Super excited to hear his story and to share it with you guys. And talk a little bit also about his Facebook group called Leave No Doubt Lifestyle. So, ladies and gentlemen, I give you Ryan Harris. What's going on, brother? How are you?
Good, Matt. How are you doing, man? Appreciate you adding me in here today, for sure.
Absolutely. I appreciate you taking your time and being able to, be vulnerable and share your story with everyone.
Yep, absolutely, man. I love it. I love sharing my story, sharing my journey. Because honestly, that's what helped me get started and keep going today is people sharing their journey and sharing their story. And using them as examples, to start my own and keep it going. So happy I can do that today. So
awesome. Thanks, man. So go ahead and just kind of give us a whole background of just the whole from the start of 20 or just the start of your life. When did you kind of realize that, it was the time that you needed to start this journey for yourself?
Yeah. So, for me, prior to 2018, it was just this slow process of gaining weight over like 15 years, really, when I went away to college, to 2018, right? I just continuously would put weight on. I would try to diet, for some period of time or more, like just pick a weight, like lose 25 pounds, lose 50 pounds. I would always seem to be successful for a very short period of time. And when I would, when I would hit that number of 50 pounds, I would just like immediately go back to my old routine, my old habits. I always thought, for the most part, it was going to be something that I could do a quick fix with, and then I could just go back to living my life. And over time, I just, my life went to 509 pounds. And up to 2018, the way I like to explain it is it's not like you take away and restrict and limit yourself over, one night. So you don't notice it all. What I did is I took it away over 15 years. So I kept taking a little piece of my daily activity, of what I could do for family vacations, what I could do at work, and slowly took all that and limited and restricted it over 15 years to when, I was 509 pounds and, it was just my life. I was comfortable with what I was doing at the time because I was used to it, because it was just a slow process of getting there. You didn't really notice it all at once. So.
Absolutely. So, when you decided to take that journey, starting in 2018 till today, did you have any time during that when you slipped up and messed up at all?
Oh yeah, man. There's nobody's perfect, right? There's
Exactly.
no perfect plan. There's no perfect journey. I will say that at first I was, really kind of what drove the progress was, so I started my journey in 2018, right, with my transformation challenges.
Yep.
I did my first challenge, and like immediately that weekend, the challenge ended with St. Patty's Day. I went out, I ate all the fried food, all the everything that I was used to doing. Like I was doing exactly what I said I wouldn't do and that I had done before. And that's go back to my old healthy habits. We went to the St. Patty's Day parade. We drank for 10, 12 hours. And honestly, I woke up and I just told myself, this isn't what I want to do. I don't want to be that version of myself anymore. So honestly, what drove me, for a while, all the way through the first year and into the second year was really like, somewhere on level, I was afraid that if I did something like that, it would just start this spiral of backward slide. I'd always ask myself, is this the beer? Is this the pizza? Is this the time you skip the gym where you just allow yourself to start doing that over and over again?
Yeah.
Because I couldn't trust, I didn't trust myself. I didn't have the self-confidence. I didn't have the self-trust to know that if I did those things that I would recover from them.
Yeah.
So it hasn't been a perfect journey, right? But it's been mine, and it's gotten me 4 years. So it's been perfect for me. Because I found a way to change my life doing it,
Absolutely.
but certainly there have been mistakes along the way, And I think the biggest part of that is just learning from them, you know, like try not to, there's no reason to beat yourself up about it, you know, regardless if it's a healthy lifestyle journey, whatever it is, like you have to learn something from the mistake. So you know how to try to identify it and just try to be a little bit better next time. So
absolutely. And I think going back a little bit, talking about, slipping up a little bit, a lot of people, mistakes happen, right?
Yeah,
that's totally fine. But when you allow mistakes to continuously happen over and over and over, that it snowballs fast. It snowballs real fast. And that's how people can spiral out of control. So it's, again, totally cool. Everyone has those mistakes every once in a while, and everyone has those cheat meals, whatever that, the case is, but you got to make sure that you know how to rebound back and continue back on the plan. So
and I mean, I think not being perfect is like the perfect excuse to slide backwards, because you're so used to like, I have to be so strict and I have to be so perfect to lose this weight. As soon as if you're searching for an excuse the first time you slip up, it's easy to say, okay, all that's gone. But in reality, like, you haven't really wasted anything by just getting back at it, rebounding, and making the next healthy decision, right?
Absolutely.
That's how you recover, and that's how you keep going. And that's what I try to tell myself every day. Still, it's not like there's some point in this journey where it's just got a lot easier. It's just one of those things where, like, what you're getting out of the journey, what the reward is, or what the benefit is to living a healthy lifestyle. That's in my mentality now. So that's why I keep going and rebound as fast as possible.
Yeah, exactly. And you talk a little bit about, just switch gears here just a little bit. You talk, about healthy lifestyle, and this is a lifestyle change. This isn't, I listened to an episode or an interview you did with First Form, and you were talking about how there's no, weight goal that's going to be the perfect amount where you just stop, because you can't stop after that. This has to be a lifestyle change. And so talk a little bit more about that. When you were talking about that with that episode. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, for me, like when I was talking to that and referring to it, it's something that I learned along this journey, and really something that went from like, I want to lose 100 pounds, I want to lose 25 pounds, because when I started out in 2018, I didn't have this great idea that I wanted to live a healthy lifestyle. Like, I didn't know that was what was going to work for me. It was, I want to lose weight, and I started with the 8-week challenge. I wanted to lose as much as possible. And then I slipped up, and I wanted to see how much I could lose in between the challenges and keep going. But what I found, like, through the challenges and through that community is, like, everyone in that community no one has a better advantage than anyone else in terms of living a healthy lifestyle, and being healthy. I don't even want to say fit. I want to say just being healthy and functional. Everyone works really hard. And that's what I learned is, like, there's no amount of weight, there's no duration, there's none of that. You're going to hit a finish line, or I'm going to hit a finish line where I'm just going to be able to go back to eating fast food all the time and eating pizza and order food out and going out drinking all the time. And, honestly, what I learned about the healthy lifestyle is, like, if I make these choices, I live this style, like, here's what I can earn for myself. Here's what I can, here's how I can live. In terms of being able to go on any vacation I want to go, ride roller coasters with my nephews, go out and just be functional at life, like not be out of breath going one block down, walking to lunch, or up a flight of stairs at work, or walking into a restaurant and having to pick, a table with chairs over a booth. So you literally had to wait longer to sit at a table than a booth, because I couldn't fit in a booth, go out with your buddies and sit on an outdoor patio before a baseball game and wonder, like, what's the chairs going to be like? Am I going to be able to fit into them? So, like, all that mental stress and anxiety I created for myself through living an unhealthy lifestyle. So, honestly, what I learned through the challenges and the first, second year it really took is like, hey, I want to focus on living a healthy lifestyle. And this is what it's going to take. And here's where it's going to take me. And just like you pointed out, like, there's no point in time where I can stop doing what I'm doing today and expect to continue to live the lifestyle that I am. So
exactly. And you see a lot of people, like on those, I hate bringing this up, like on those shows, like The Biggest Loser, right? Where those people, they lose a ton of weight and then they get off the show, and then you hear a lot of stories of those people that put all that weight right back on quickly too. And I mean,
honestly, I wasn't on the show, but essentially that was me in every single diet. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's a lot of people. It doesn't have to be a show. I think that's the for me, it's the diet mentality is where like, I don't have to, nothing I'm doing long-term is wrong for me. It's just, I need to do something for a short term to correct the path I'm going, which honestly, all you're doing is veering off the path, losing a few pounds and then I would just gain it all back.
Yeah.
You know, if it took me 3 months to get it all off, I could gain it back in 3 weeks probably. You know what I mean? It doesn't take long.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it's just like, I found a community that showed me, that it's more of it's a lifestyle. It's not a diet. It's working hard, and nobody has advantage over anybody else. And that's why I like, anybody who asks me is like, well, why do you keep going? And it's like, well, I don't have a choice. If I stop today, I can be 509 pounds in a year, in 2 years. I don't know how long it would take, but it would take less than 4 years.
Yeah.
And like, I know what making the healthy choices gets me in life, in my life. And that's what I fight for.
Yeah.
Because it's not any easier today than it was day one. It's just that I know what the reward is for myself. So.
Correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You talked a little bit about community that you had my transformation challenge with First Form. Talk a little bit about community that you have with the Leave No Doubt lifestyle group that you have.
Yeah. So honestly, you asked me about slip ups and being perfect, right? So at the end of 2020, right? Like I went to go to the holidays of Christmas with the family, put the jeans on, they were fitting a little tight. Okay. I let myself slip in December. So I went into 2021 with the mentality of like, I'm going to leave no doubt this year that I'm going to get the best results for myself. That isn't going to be like beat myself up on the scale. I'm going to check in every week. I'm going to weigh myself. I'm going to take progress photos. And I just want to wake up the next day and know that like I did everything I could to drive my progress further. Right. And so I came up with this like leave no doubt mentality. For me, it was from one of my favorite movies, which is Remember the Titans,
Great movie.
where in the score, Coach Yost is like, he's like, run it up, leave no doubt. So that's kind of where that, that phrase came from. And I started, I had a few friends who, were interested in me like coaching, advising. So I chose to start we started a Facebook community, and it's called Team Leave No Doubt. And it really is just on the principle that, my journey is where it is today because I was engaged and involved in the My Transformation community on the Facebook pages. I had a coach and advisor through the challenge, Mike Trotter. He had his own page, and I got involved with that. It held me really accountable as well, and I just felt like the more people were engaged in a positive, community like that, the more successful they are, the more likely they are to like permanently realize it's a lifestyle versus just a diet.
Correct.
So I created it, and just like anything, nothing's perfect when it starts, and it's not perfect today, but like we continuously as a group just like keep trying to push to be better.
Yeah.
And honestly, it helps me just as much as anybody else in the group.
Exactly.
Holds me accountable and stay engaged. So that's how it started, and how it's. So right now we got just under 100 people in the Facebook group. So, we went from like June having 10 to 100 starting this year. So that's really awesome. Happy about that. Yeah. And I mean, you can just see the momentum, like every month, more people get involved. They get more comfortable commenting, and you can see like a direct relationship to the amount that they're involved in the group, commenting, participating, the better the results are month over month.
Makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense to me. You surround yourself by those like-minded people, man. It's gonna keep pushing you and driving you.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I love that. So let's talk about yourself. So where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Well, I see myself continuing to drive a healthy lifestyle. What I'll get myself into as far as events or, something like that, I'm not really sure. But, my overall goal is to live a healthy lifestyle. I always come up with something for the year. This year, we're trying to maintain a certain weight and really, lose fat and build muscle, right? It's not, I wouldn't call it like a super strength program, but it's more of like this mind shift of, not letting the scale drive my mental progress, but more of progress photos, strength, stuff like that. In 5 years, I mean, I want to still be doing absolutely what I'm doing today, except maybe not have 100 people in the community. Maybe there's 500, maybe there's 600. Who knows how many there'll be. Yeah. But, my goal is to make a positive impact in somebody else's life. Just like, you know, I mentioned at the beginning, like there's so many people that helped me today till today and still help me. You know, I hope I can serve as like, you know, as an example, or I don't even know if I want to say role model, but an example for someone to pull from, right?
Absolutely.
Because it's really hard to mimic someone's journey, but for me, I can see a wide variety of journeys out there of people who are putting in the work or changing their life. They continue to work hard like every single day. And I can pull characteristics from what they do in their routines and their habits. And I can figure out what works for me. And I can put that together to make my own journey, my own, you know, healthy routine, my own healthy habits. So my goal is just to continue to, you know, try to lead by example, keep my journey going, and provide someone that example to help create their own routine that helps them live a healthy lifestyle.
I like that. I love that. All right, last question I have for you. Where would you, you know, you're 4 years in this, like you said, what would you tell yourself back in 2018 now when you were just deciding to get in this journey?
I mean, for me, I would honestly tell myself, I think that, you know, no matter how hard you try, or how hard you try to tell yourself that you're doing, you know, you're being successful, that you're doing the right thing, you always have to remind yourself that you can be doing better, you can be better. There's always something that you can change to continue to be the best version of yourself. And that's why, like, you know, being uncomfortable is great, right? I guess that's the best way to explain it. And that, you know, even today, like I remind myself, when I feel comfortable with my journey, with my training, with my nutrition, with the group, it's like, okay, it's time to do something different. You know what I mean? It's time to push more. It's time to, you know, take more on. It's time to change something. It's time to be a little bit more uncomfortable. So when I find myself, like, you know, being comfortable with my routine, being comfortable with the weekly tasks, the weekly habits, it's time to, you know, evaluate and see, you know, what can you do to be better? Like, what can you add to this? It doesn't have to be, I think that's the other thing, is like, what you change doesn't have to be, you don't have to move a mountain. You can move a rock, you know what I mean, every week and get there. Like, you don't have to like pick this like super huge, crazy goal to make a difference in your everyday activities. You need to just make sure that what you pick is what you want to do, execute it, and then move on to the next thing. Don't get comfortable. Don't, you know, pat yourself on the back for a month and a half that you did something. It's awesome. Like, smile and get back after it.
Absolutely. So, I love that. Man, I really appreciate you sharing everything, your story, and jumping on here and giving advice. Where can everyone follow you and, you know, learn more about you at?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have an Instagram, you know, account. It's ryan.n.harris is my Instagram account. And then obviously I'm out on Facebook. And then, you know, if you want to join the Healthy Lifestyle Group, you're always more than welcome to. It's Team Leave No Doubt. Shoot me a message and we'll get you hooked up with the team and get you going. So, I mean, that's honestly, like, from an Instagram perspective, that's where I try to share the most about my journey, and do that. So I try to do lives on Thursday nights throughout the challenges to talk about healthy lifestyle journey, healthy lifestyle topics. So that's been going, you know, that's one of those things where you get uncomfortable and
exactly,
do something different. You know what I mean? So that's been kind of a project over last year, and I'm continuing it through this year. So we'll see how it goes. So
that's awesome. Thank you again, Ryan. I appreciate you coming on here, and
absolutely,
it was really great to talk to you.
Yeah, no, I had a great time. I appreciate it. Anytime. I love it. So.
Awesome, man. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Yep, thanks.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down